Welcome to BrightBytes. Today, we're taking a journey to a place that's more alien than any distant planet, but it's right here on Earth. It's a realm of perpetual twilight, and it is absolutely packed with secrets. This is the ocean's Twilight Zone. It's a vast, dimly lit world hundreds of feet below the surface. And get this, it might be teeming with more life than the rest of the entire ocean combined. So what exactly is this hidden frontier? Well, to find out, we're going to have to go deep. Let's dive in. Okay, so we're descending past the sunlit surface layer. That's the epipelagic, and we're entering a layer known to scientists as the Mesopelagic. But it has a much cooler name, the ocean Twilight Zone. It stretches from about 660 all the way down to 3,300 feet. Down here, sunlight is just a faint memory. The temperatures are near freezing, and the pressure can hit a crushing 1,500 pounds per square inch. It is an unbelievably extreme place to live. You know, this entire world was first discovered completely by accident. During World War II, Navy sonar operators kept noticing something bizarre. The seafloor seemed to rise toward the surface every single night. This mystery, this false bottom, turned out to be a massive, living wave of animals. This daily migration they were seeing is actually the largest on the entire planet, and it's made up of some of the strangest, most wonderful creatures you could possibly imagine. So how do you find food in near total darkness? Well, if you're an anglerfish, you use bioluminescence. You just dangle a glowing lure to attract unsuspecting prey right to your waiting jaws. It's brilliant, really. Other creatures use light to hide. Take the strawberry squid. Its belly is covered in these tiny light organs called photophores. They create this perfect camouflage called counter-illumination, which pretty much erases its shadow from any predators looking up from below. Talk about a cloaking device. And then you have creatures like the Atolla jellyfish, which use light as a defense. If it gets attacked, it sets off this flashing burglar alarm of light. The idea is to startle the predator, or even better, attract an even bigger predator to come deal with its attacker for it. And honestly, the adaptations for survival here are just otherworldly. You've got fish with invisible red flashlights that their prey can't even see, and gelatinous creatures that can grow longer than a blue whale. It's a world of sci-fi monsters that are 100% real. And the sheer scale of life down here is just staggering. The tiny, fierce-looking bristlemouth, for example, is thought to be the most abundant vertebrate on the planet. Their population is estimated to be around 1 quadrillion. That is a 1 with 15 zeros after it. Mind-boggling. But these bizarre creatures aren't just some biological curiosity. It turns out they are the engine of a critical system that helps regulate the climate of our entire planet. And this is it, the biological carbon pump. It's a natural process that moves huge amounts of heat-trapping carbon dioxide from the atmosphere down into the deep ocean, where it can be locked away for centuries. So here's how it works. Tiny organisms near the surface die, and they clump together and sink. This creates what's called marine snow. This snow is then eaten by all those animals in the Twilight Zone, who in turn carry that carbon even deeper into the ocean when they die or, well, excrete. The legendary marine biologist Rachel Carson called this constant downward drift the most stupendous snowfall the Earth has ever seen. You can think of it as a one-way shuttle bus for carbon, and it's so effective that it helps the ocean absorb about a quarter of all the greenhouse gases we humans emit. But here's the catch. Despite its incredible importance, this vital ecosystem is facing some serious threats, and we've barely even begun to understand it. So, recent studies suggest the amount of fish in the Twilight Zone could be 10, maybe even 16 times greater than we ever thought. That is a massive, untapped resource, and it's making it a very attractive target for industrial fishing. And this presents us with a really difficult choice. Is the Twilight Zone a cornucopia of resources that could help feed the world? Or could trying to harvest it lead to an ecological calamity, one that damages that all-important carbon pump, with consequences we just can't predict? With so much at stake, you can bet that scientists and engineers are absolutely racing to explore this hidden frontier, and they're using some groundbreaking new technology to do it. We're talking about trailblazing tools like the super stealthy Mesobot robot. It can follow individual animals for hours without even disturbing them. And then you have the bigger towed deep-sea platform, which uses advanced sonar and cameras to create this huge comprehensive picture of the entire ecosystem.
Scientists are using a whole new toolkit, everything from environmental DNA or eDNA to AI. They are essentially building an internet of swimming and floating things to finally unlock the Twilight Zone's secrets.
The choices we make in just the next decade are going to affect this vital ecosystem for centuries. And that makes exploring this final frontier more urgent than it has ever been. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the deep here on BrightBytes. If you found this as fascinating as we did, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, maybe share it with someone who loves to explore. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next explainer.